and I want to talk about my pre-review of Ghostbusters. I've only got 22 minutes of battery, and that's probably a good thing. I need to time myself on this because I could go into a long rant. This isn't really a pre-review, it's more of a my expectations and my mindset going into the new Ghostbusters. Today is July 6th, which means that Ghostbusters premieres in 9 days. So I wanted to talk about kind of how I was feeling before I go to see the movie in a week. A little over a week. There's probably going to be a lot of jump cuts because I'm pretty passionate about Ghostbusters, and so there's a couple of different mindsets that you can go into watching this movie. You could be a die-hard Ghostbusters fan like me. When I was a kid, I watched a lot of horror movies, stuff that I probably shouldn't have been seeing, stuff that really scared me. And movies like Ghostbusters and Army of Darkness let me kind of know that I could be afraid and still make jokes and use humor as a defense mechanism, and that kind of defined me as who I am. It was also a huge part of my childhood. I'm not one of those guys that whenever I saw the trailer I said my childhood was ruined. My childhood was perfectly intact. I actually liked the trailer a lot. See, as somebody who's a Ghostbusters fan, I'm not just a fan of the original movie. I'm a fan of the movie, the sequel, the video games, the comic books, all of the entire extended universe of the Ghostbusters. For people that wanted Ghostbusters 3 and a passing of the torch story, I mean, you know, the video game's not really cinematically up to par with Ghostbusters, but it's a passing of the torch story. And in the comic books, there's all these other Ghostbusters. I can name you Ron Alexander, Melanie Ortiz, Kylie Griffin. You know, Janine Melnitz is a Ghostbuster now. And in Extreme Ghostbusters, there's a whole other team there. And, you know, whether it's canon or not, I've had my passing of the torch story. And I don't need to see it on the screen. I'm glad that it's a reboot, because if this movie's good or bad, it doesn't touch the original. I've said this a million times. So a lot of people that are claiming to be upset maybe haven't even really put that much thought into it. Maybe you haven't read the comic books. Maybe you haven't played the video game. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. And you're entitled to your opinion. This might not be the Ghostbusters for you, but the Ghostbusters for you might exist and you just haven't looked into the comics or the video game. The story that you want to see might be out there and you just aren't a big enough Ghostbusters fan to have checked it out. And I feel like some of the biggest Ghostbusters fans, like the franchise fans that call themselves, you know, the Jacksonville Ghostbusters or the Iowa Ghostbusters or the New England Ghostbusters, the people that dress up and cosplay, I've not seen one negative thing from any of these guys. The real diehard Ghostbusters fans are excited for the new movie. I'm one of them, and I'm excited for the new movie. People that may have just seen the original a long time ago and caught it on like TBS or TNT or whatever, like whenever it was on a rerun, might claim to be loyalists, and they might be pissed off about the movie. Or maybe there are a bunch of man-children that look exactly like me, but they're just pissed off for whatever reason. But you don't need to attack the movie, because there's going to be people that are fans of the movie. Find something in it that is magical, like in the original. There's the whole fact that Ghostbusters isn't really a movie for adults. It was a kid's movie and it had adult humor, and so we were able to kind of grow up with it. We fell in love with it as kids, and this new movie is going to be one that kids today can fall in love with. So it's not really for a bunch of adults. It's for kids. It's for little girls or little boys nowadays. It's for everybody, but not for adults anymore. I mean, it was always a kids' movie. Original fans have the movie, the sequel, the video games, the comic books, the real Ghostbusters cartoon series, the Extreme Ghostbusters cartoon series. Just so much extended lore. We're done. We have enough. We have enough. Now it's time for somebody else to have their Ghostbusters franchise. Or just don't be a prick and just like all of it still. And I watch all the YouTube series, even with the cheesy acting and the cheesy graphics, and I love those. So for me, it's not about acting or graphics or any of that stuff. It's about the spirit of Ghostbusters. It's about the technology and seeing how much fun people are having. And that's why I like those YouTube series, and that's why I like the fan-made movies. And that is probably why I'm going to like the new movie as well. There's another mindset you can go into it, just being a Paul Feig fan. The guy made Bridesmaids. That movie is like hilarious. And it's not a chick flick either. It's like saying Mean Girls is a chick flick. Mean Girls is not a chick flick. It's an amazing movie. It's just good. Just go see it. I'm getting off topic. But Bridesmaids is an amazing movie. Spy is an amazing movie. The Heat is really good. You've never even seen Other Space. Because nobody watched YouTube Screen. Yeah, I mean, not YouTube Screen. Nobody watched Yahoo Screen. That's understandable. But there was a show on Yahoo Screen called Other Space, and it's only a couple of episodes, but you should give it a chance, because then you'll get to see Neil Casey, who's the bad guy in Ghostbusters, and all these other people, and it's a really good show, and you should check it out. But Paul Feig has not made one thing that I don't like, so I am not worried about this being a bad Paul Feig movie. The fact that it's Ghostbusters could tend to swing me another way, because why they may... Alright, then there's the other mindset. Why'd they even have to reboot anything? Why can't they call it something else? And you know what? There have been movies like that. Evolution with David Duchovny and Orlando Jones. The Watch with Ben Stiller and Jonah Hill and Vince Vaughn. The Frighteners kind of had this weird Ghostbusters feel to it with Michael J. Fox. So there's other movies that have to do with ghosts, aliens, mutants, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And a team of 3 or 4 dudes that get a hold of some technology, and they're the only hope. And Pixels, the movie Pixels. Ghostbusters. So there's movies that have the spiritual feel, like they're spiritual successors to Ghostbusters, but they didn't call themselves Ghostbusters. And because of that, you can say, hey, Evolution's a good movie. Hey, Pixels is a decent movie. I liked Pixels. That's another reason I'm probably going to like the new Ghostbusters. You can't really trust my opinion, because I'm a crazy fanboy. What I'm trying to say is, they've done that before. Pixels, Evolution, The Watch. These are all Ghostbusters disguised as other movies. And they're great, they're fine, whatever. And if they had been called Ghostbusters, people would have picked them apart. But there's only one movie that had the bravery to call themselves Ghostbusters, and that's the 2016 reboot. So that is why they are super brave, and I'm excited, because Ghostbusters is coming back. You can go in knowing you're going to be disappointed. You can go in with low expectations. You can go in with high expectations. You know, there's people that are just general public that see a trailer for the movie on TV and say, oh my God, I remember Ghostbusters. They go see it, they like it, they don't like it. I was actually watching a movie in the theater where the trailer came on, the most hated YouTube trailer of all time. And actually the part where Patty was slapping Abby, everybody around me was laughing. There's people, the general public, I mean, they're not to be insulted, they're just salt of the earth type people that are going to find funny stuff funny. There was this time where I used to be the cynical teenager, and I was just like, I was ahead of the game, just not liking things because I thought I was overly intellectual, and now everybody is caught up to that, and everybody thinks it's so smart to pick things apart, but it's actually like, take the other road. Be so smart that you find the charm in things and find the good things in everything. You know how hard that is to do sometimes? Sometimes it's not even that hard. Just shut up and just have fun. It's Ghostbusters. It's supposed to be fun, so have fun. Bring your kids, so your daughters will have heroes to look up to. And I heard some argument about some guy saying he has no character that he can live vicariously through. I will post a review after the movie. God, I hope it's good. I'm pretty sure it will be. I'm pretty sure I'm going to like it. I'm the guy who liked Pixels after all. So, I like Pixels. I like everybody's YouTube series, fan-made Ghostbuster series. I love Paul Feig. I love Kristen Wiig, Kate McKinnon, Leslie Jones, Melissa McCarthy. I love Ghostbusters. I love the technology of it. I don't see myself not liking this movie. There's nothing you can say. I mean, it's my mind's... I have high expectations. I'm flying way too close to the sun on this one. So we'll see. Bye.